Attach energies to our Urshifu. Let's do Zacian and ADP. Just because those are the main cards that they are using. And do my GMax 1 blow now. Let's attach our fire energy as well. Just to accumulate, just to collect more energies in our discard pile. Might be a bad idea if they boss or knock out our Coalossal. But they are probably going to be targeting our Didin because it's too late in the game to be targeting one price cards. Then that's actually bad for us. But fortunately, we have a lot. So that bench spot is filled. We can't play a mustard anymore. Let's just summon our energy cards. No more mustard unless they knock us out the next turn. So one blow to knock them out. Oh, it doesn't knock them out. 290. Oh, because they have a Cape of Toughness. So we need to sacrifice a basic Pokemon. We need to sacrifice a basic Pokemon with our Quick Ball. That allows us to empty our hand for our mustard card. So what can we sacrifice? Are we gonna sacrifice our Urshifu V or Roly-Coly? Let's just do our Roly-Coly. So discard the Roly-Coly for anything to switch for a Coalossal, and then Rare Candy Evolve to empty our hand. And essentially we have Mustard as our final card, playing Urshifu VMAX on our second turn. That's very good. So that's very tricky, but we managed to play our not Single Strike, our Rapid Strike style Mustard on our second turn, pulling out our VMAX card, Rapid Strike style. And we even get to play a Didin now. Hello everybody, welcome back to Bearware the Terrible. Today we are bringing you a new standard deck called the Yin Yang Master. So in Yin Yang Master, we have our Urshifu VMAX, both from the Single Strike and Rapid Strike. So how do we fit in these two cards in the same deck? We have our Rapid Strike Mustard and our Tar Generator to do that. So Tar Generator allows you to attach a Fire Energy card, a Fighting Energy card, or one of each from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. So that is how we are charging up our Urshifu VMAXes to do a turn after turn GMax attack, either with GMax 1 blow or GMax Rapid Flow. So obviously with GMax 1 blow, we need at least 2 Coalossals on our bench to be able to do a consecutive hit. Whereas with Rapid Flow, we only need 1 Coalossal on our bench to be able to do use our GMax attack every turn. That is what we want to do, to be able to attack every turn. So our VMAX attacks are very heavy, the attack cost. That is why we need a lot of Coalossals on our bench. That is why early on in the game, you need to have a mindset to get out as many Coalossals on your bench as possible, because they can knock it out. So they can boss order and knock it out very easily. It is 160 HP though, it is pretty high, but it is easy to knock it out with only 1 hit. So we need to, early on in the game, we need to get out as much as 3 Coalossals on our bench just to prepare for any knockouts. And 3 is a good number because we are relying on 3 being in a deck and 1 being in a prize card. On the off chance that 2 turn up in the prize card, then we can't do anything. We can only bring out 2 Coalossals onto our bench. So that is fine, because 2 is enough for us to do a turn after turn GMax 1 blow, as long as we attach a Fighting Energy from our hand, because Coalossal Tar Generator does not allow you to attach 2 Fighting Energies from your discard pile. Each Coalossal only allows you to attach 1 of each type of Fire or Fighting Energy, or both, but they don't let you attach 2 of the same type energies. So you can only attach 1 Fire, 1 Fighting, or 1 Fighting only if you have no Fire Energy in your deck, in your discard pile, or 1 Fire Energy only if you have no Fighting Energies in your discard pile. So that's the bad thing about Tar Generator. It doesn't work for both of the same type energies. If you have only fighting type energy in your discard pile, you only get to attach one energy. And if you want to attach both of the same type, you don't get to do that. So Urshifu VMAX, we are planning on evolving our Single Strike Urshifu VMAX from basic. So that's why we have our basic V card for Single Strike, whereas for Rapid Strike, we are planning on summoning it onto our bench from the discard pile with our Rapid Strike style Mustard. So Rapid Strike style Mustard only works if you have Rapid Strike style Mustard as your only card in your hand, obviously, but it also you also must have a Rapid Strike card in your discard pile. That means you need to discard your Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike to be able to play your Mustard card. Otherwise, you cannot play this card. So we have to summon our Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike into our hand. Use some cards in our hand to discard it from our hand, or discard it from the deck some way. It's good to have Hapus in this deck, Hapu, Clay, or some way to fit those cards in, and then have a lot of rods and paw pad, because if you're discarding your deck, you need a lot of paw pads and rods, just in case you discard the right cards that you might need later on. So Hapu Clay is a good card to discard your deck, so that you get to discard your Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX and then use your Rapid Strike Mustard after. But you don't get to do that on the same turn though, because Hapu Clay is supporter cards. They are supporter cards. That means you don't get to play your Rapid Strike style Mustard on the same turn. That is why I don't like to have those cards in this deck. It actually slows it down. So you can also have a switch around. You can also switch around the evolution cards. So for example, instead of having a Single Strike Urshifu V, you can have a Rapid Strike Urshifu V and Single Strike style Mustard instead of my arrangement. So the reason I prefer this arrangement is because Laser Focus is actually a stronger attack than the matching Rapid Strike Urshifu V with the Strafe attack. Obviously, Strafe allows you to put it into the bench. In the event that you can't do anything else, you get to save it for another turn. And put out a Roly-Coly that you don't need onto the active slot for them to knock it out or something like that. But that is very unlikely. We don't need to be protecting our Pokemon, and sometimes they might just boss auto and knock out that Urshifu Rapid Strike anyways. So Laser Focus is actually a better, I prefer it because it's a better attack. It allows you to search your deck for two fighting energy cards and attach them immediately onto your Urshifu V Single Strike. That means you don't need to summon them into your hand. You don't need to worry about discarding them, finding a way to put them in your discard pile so that you get to use your Tar Generator ability. Because essentially Laser Focus allows you to put 2 extra energy into play, which if they knock out your Urshifu V, ends up in the discard pile, then you get to recycle them with your Tar Generator. So it's essentially in your battlefield already. You have 3 energy cards in your battlefield or in your discard pile, unless they use Alolan Exeggutor GX. The GX attack allows them to shuffle all energy cards from your opponents, all of their opponents' Pokemon into the deck, and they can also put energy cards attached to your Pokemon back into your hand with Hydro Snipe, with Samurott. I can't remember what the Samurott's attack is. Aqua Wash. So Hydro Snipe, Aqua Wash, Team Yell, things like that to put energy cards attached to your Pokemon back into your hand. So that is the bad thing, is if they put them into your hand, you're gonna have to worry about discarding them, or they shuffle it back into the deck, you're gonna have to worry about discarding them. So Tar Generator only works if there are energy cards in your discard pile. So we need to think about a way of discarding our energy cards, and we also need to think of emptying our hand to be able to using our Rapid Strike Mustard, because that is the main supporter card in this deck. We only have 4 Rapid Strike style Mustards, 1 Marnie, and 1 Bird Keeper in this deck. We have 3 Pokegears to summon our Mustard, because we need our Mustard to summon our Rapid Strike style Urshifu VMAX, because that is the only way Rapid Strike Urshifu gets to be placed onto the bench, get to be played. And the reason we have only 4 of these supporter cards and no other supporter cards, only a few other supporter cards, is because we are intending on playing both on the same game, both Urshifu VMAXs on the same game unless we don't need our single strike. If we don't need our single strike, it is better not to place Urshifu single strike V card onto the bench, because if you place it onto the bench, you're wasting a bench spot and you might have it filled with your Didin GXs, essentially forcing you not to be able to use your mustard card until you have to wait for a knockout. Basically, you have to wait for something to get knocked out before you get to use your mustard card, and that is not good. That is why we don't want to play any single strike Urshifus if we are not planning to, if it's a good deal not to. For example, if they play a lot of one price cards, if they play Mad Party, Ball Juggling, Coalossal Whip and Bell without Muse, then it is a good idea beginning of the game not to put any Urshifu Vs unless you already have those mustard cards in your hand and you don't need to play any Didin GXs and you can already play it in the first 2 or 3 turns, then you can put that Urshifu V, because Urshifu V actually has a good attack. As I said, laser focus, you already prepared 2 energies in your battlefield, and that is already what do you call that, reattachable to other Pokemons by you retreating. So if you retreat your single strike Urshifu V, you essentially discard those energies and you can recycle them and reattach them to your Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX with your Tar Generator. So that's how powerful this deck is. You can retreat and reattach. We also have a Cheryl, because Cheryl allows you to max heal your VMAX Pokemons, and it also allows you to heal your Coalossal if they hit your bench Pokemons with damage or damage counters, because they can do that. We don't have a Mew in this deck because I prefer not to. Mew actually waste the space for this deck, and we need way too many cards. We need way too many other cards. We are playing a stage 2 and 2 stage 1s. That is why we need a single strike rapid strike style mustard. My bad. We need a rapid strike style mustard to summon our Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, because we are playing way too many evolution Pokemons. So we can't have 2 stage 1s and 1 stage 2. So 1 stage 1 and 1 stage 2 is already a lot. That is why we need to summon this with a rapid strike style mustard, or the other way around. You know, we can summon a single strike with a single strike style mustard, but you need to think about the bad thing about having that formation is that you need to worry about not discarding your Urshifu VMAX single strike. So single strike style mustard only works if you have a single strike Pokemon in your deck that you want to put onto your bench. For example, well, the only single strike Pokemon we are intending to summon is our Urshifu VMAX. If you are playing that arrangement, you need to summon your Urshifu VMAX with your single strike style mustard. That means this card has to be in your deck. You're gonna have to find a way to reshuffle it back into your deck with a rod if it ends up in your discard pile. If you discard it by force, because you have no choice but to, because you need to use your Didin GX and you drew an extra, maybe both of your Urshifu VMAX turn up in your hand by chance, and you can't do anything but use a Didin to discard them because you can't do anything else, because you're forced to, then you're gonna have to worry about using a rod to put it back into your deck, adding rods to this deck, adding more Pokemon communications in this deck so that you get to empty your hand. You might have a single strike style mustard, and Urshifu VMAX single strike, and electromagnetic radar and other cards in your hand. That means you're gonna have to discard that Urshifu VMAX single strike, and essentially you get to empty your hand, but you don't get to summon that Urshifu because it turns up in your discard pile. So you're gonna have to worry about reshuffling it back into your deck. Whereas if you have a rapid strike style mustard and an Urshifu VMAX in your hand, then you get to empty your hand and use it on the same turn without worrying about shuffling it back into your deck. So if you're playing a single strike Urshifu VMAX and single strike mustard, then you have to add cards that shuffle your Pokemon cards back into your deck, or add more, or you can just add more Urshifu VMAX single strikes, because that way you get to have a few more in your deck. Then, you know, it's safer that way. And we also have 4 rare candies in this deck, 6 basic energies, 6 basic fighting energies, 5 basic fire energies, and 1 single strike energy. That one can be enough to kill a tag team Pokemon. We're not intending on a one-hit knockout of a VMAX Pokemon, but we can double hit knockout a VMAX Pokemon very easily with GMAX 1 below, because we can hit every turn. We are planning on hitting every turn with either our Urshifu VMAX Single Strike or our Rapid Flow card. So that is how powerful this deck is. The bad thing is we need a lot of setup cards. We need to set up very fast and a lot of cards. We need a lot of Coalossals on our bench very early on in the game. That means we need a lot of setup cards and a lot of evolution incenses and a lot of rare candies and a lot of way of drawing those cards. So Mustard is the only way we can draw cards other than the Dean, of course, but that is why the only supporter card that we are relying on to draw our cards is Mustard, because we only have one of Marnie and one of Birdkeeper. Birdkeeper can be a lifesaver card because Switch is very important, because we have very heavy retreat cost Pokemons in this deck, so switching Switch cards are very important. But the reason we only have one Birdkeeper in this deck is because we can actually retreat very easily. Even though the retreat cost is very heavy, we can retreat it with our Coalossal. So we can attach energy to our VMAX Pokemon, retreat, and then reattach those energy to our other Pokemons. So obviously we can't do that too many times because we only have a limited amount of Coalossals on our bench. That means we only have a limited amount of energy cards we get to attach to our Pokemon. So retreating might not be a good idea, but sometimes we have no choice but to. So that's something to think about. You might prefer adding more Switch cards in this deck, but I prefer not to add Switch cards just because I find it unnecessary. So I think that's all for this deck. We have 3 Sonias, 3 Evolution Incenses, 4 4 Quick Balls, 2 Pokemon Communications, and 4 Electromagnetic Radars. So the cards that allow us to discard our hand include Electromagnetic Radar and Quick Ball. So basically those are the only 2 cards that allow us to empty our hand until our Mustard card becomes our last card at hand, to be able to use it to summon our Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike. So we also have a lot of other item cards. So item cards allow us to use them freely and then essentially, you know, reduce our hand down to one last card. So item cards like Evolution Incense, we can use it without summoning anything, meaning we can just discard it from our hand without drawing anything from our deck. Same goes for our Pokegear, same goes our Pokemon Communication. We can actually shuffle a Pokemon card from our hand into the deck without drawing out any cards. But sometimes we may need to draw out cards to discard, because Electromagnetic Radar only works if you discard 2 cards from your hand. You can't discard 1 card from your hand with your Electromagnetic Radar. You must discard 2 cards. So sometimes we need to draw something out, draw something back out to discard it, because Pokemon Communication actually saves your Urshifu VMAX Single Strike, but you may need to sacrifice some other cards because you may have a number of cards in your hand that forces you to summon that extra card so that you get to discard with your Radar until Rapid Strike Style Mustard becomes your last card. So it's actually tricky that way. Radar is a tricky card to use. And we have 4 rare candies and 1 Carcoal because we need to evolve our Coalossal as fast as we can. We're relying on our Tar Generator ability, meaning if they have any Weezings, if they are playing any Weezings, then we have to knock out their Weezing with a weak attack. So weak attack like Impact Blow or Beat Down, a 3 energy attack cost, not a lot of damage, but you can knock out a Weezing very easily because they are weak towards fighting type. So we don't need to worry too much about Weezing because Weezing is a dark type weak towards fighting type and it is a weak Pokemon. You don't need to worry too much about that. So you only need to use your laser focus and then you're good to go. You can knock it out with your Impact Blow or Beat Down very easily. So Weezing is nothing to worry about. If they play an Empoleon V, they can't block this ability because it's a stage 2 Pokemon. So Empoleon V's ability does not block your Tar Generator. So that's all for this deck. I don't want to explain too long. We are essentially fitting 2 Urshifu VMAXes into the same deck with our Mustard card and with our Coalossal Tar Generator. And we are trying to pull out as many Coalossals onto our bench as fast as we can so that we get to charge up our Urshifu VMAXes for consecutive hits, turn after turn hits of GMax attacks. because after using those attacks, we discard all of our energy, but that doesn't mean much to us. You know, it's not a big deal for us to discard energy because we are reattaching them from our discard pile with our Coalossal. That is why we can do a turn after turn GMax attack for this deck. So that's why this deck is so powerful. So that's all for the deck list. Let's move on to gameplay. So today we are featuring workout style music, motivational music from a bunch of different channels, no copyright music, Pixels music, muscle tips, breaking copyright, Z Music Z, and the composer is Found and Mike Realm. So Mike Realm is a good composer. Go check out their music. They feature really good music, workout style, motivational style. So let's go ahead for gameplay with our Yin Yang Master deck. The huge risk of this deck is that we have 4 Rapid Strike style Mustard, and that is the main supporter card for our deck. That means if we can't play that card, we can't draw cards from our deck. So that's a huge risk because we are relying on us being able to draw cards with Mustard. If we can't draw cards with Mustard, we're gonna have to use Dideen, and sometimes Dideen draws out the wrong cards and you can't use any other supporter cards with your Dideen, then there's something to worry about. So it's our first turn. We can't use Sonia, so I'm not gonna Dideen anyways. I might use a Marnie. Yep, we can actually evolve now. Wow, we evolved during our second turn. That's very lucky. So let's hope for a fighting energy. We can evolve our Urshifu, but there's just no point doing that. Let's get out more Roly-Colies. More Roly-Colies. And let's put a Dideen. They might play a lot of loose basic cards, so it's smart to leave one spot for Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike. Thank God we have a fighting energy, so we get to attach an extra one now. Let's just attach it now and prepare for our Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. That's a really good hand because we got our Coalossal and 2 Roly-Colies on our second turn, and we even got this in our active spot because we only have 2 Urshifu V single strikes in our deck. So it's actually a pretty lucky draw to draw it out in a first draw. To get it in the first draw. So they're playing a Bronzong Full Metal Wall deck. Full Metal Wall does not work against the GMax 1 Blow because GMax 1 Blow ignores all effects of your opponent's attacks. But GMax 1 Blow does not protect you from resistance. That's the only thing you don't get to go through because resistance is not an effect. So you don't get to break through any resistance with your Urshifu VMAX GMax 1 Blow. And we get to knock it out right now. Wow. That's insane. We have another Dideen, but I'm not gonna do that. Let's get a Carkol. Let's hope we have a Carkol. Yep. We only have 1 Carkol in this deck, so oh, they just let us win. So that was a lucky one. Let's go for another game. It was a bit too quick because we got really lucky, I suppose. We got Marnie on our first turn. So Birdkeeper, Marnie are our only other supporter cards in this deck. Mustard, we obviously have 4 Mustards and 3 Pokegears as well to draw cards, but no other supporter cards. So that's a little dangerous. We are playing an element of risk. There's a lot of risk in this deck, but it's fun to play with. It's fun to have Mustards in your deck. If you can discard that Urshifu VMAX in time, it's actually a good thing for you. So the main reason I have mustard instead of other supporter cards is because I'm gonna focus a little bit here because I actually need to think. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm gonna discard this one. They're playing a lot of V, so let's get that one. Yep, let's get that one. Let's see if we have other mustards in our deck. Then we are gonna use a DT because it's actually smarter to do that. We have one mustard left. Oof. I'm just gonna use a Dideen. One is enough. We have Poke Gears. If we have a Bird Keeper, we can actually charge our Urshifu V right now. Let's attach a fire right now. Okay, pause the turn. So the reason I don't have the reason I have Rapid Strike style mustard in this deck instead of 2 Urshifu V's Rapid Strike is because that actually saved the space for other supporter cards. If I have Urshifu V Rapid Strike and Single Strike and both of the VMAX cards as well, then that would eat up all of the spaces in my deck, essentially preventing me from adding my supporter cards. So I will have no other spaces left in the deck for Marnie's Professor's Research, Hop, Bruno, or Corina's Focus, or any other supporter cards that lets you draw cards. So those supporter cards would not have enough. I would not have enough of those supporter cards to make a difference, to make it a good deck. So let's Dideen again. Oh, we can actually Bird Keeper. Let's Bird Keeper and Laser Focus, and then we can evolve it. Let's hope we can. Yeah, we can. Oh, we can't evolve it yet. That's a Rapid Strike. So let's Dideen now. Yeah, let's just Dideen now. Let's see if we have Coalossals in our deck. We have 3 Coalossals left. We didn't discard any. Yep, we are discarding one now. So discarding it is not a big deal because we have 3 left in our deck. So we can call a Carcoal. And if we draw a Rapid Strike style mustard, we can use it the next turn, hopefully. Let's Laser Focus. They can't survive a GMax 1 blow, but they can damage us with 180 damage though. Oh. Luckily we have our Coalossal in our hand, so that doesn't do anything. They team yelled us. That means instead of discarding it, they team yelled us. So they put it in our hand. We can't use. If we don't have any more in our discard pile, then that's actually bad for us. But fortunately we have a lot. Should we Dideen? Let's attach one there, I suppose. Let's use a Dideen. They are not playing any 1 price cards, so we don't need our Rapid Strike Urshifu anyways. So that bench spot is filled. We can't play a mustard anymore. Let's just summon our energy cards. No more mustard unless they knock us out the next turn. So 1 blow to knock them out. Oh, it doesn't knock them out. 290. Oh, because they have a Cape of Toughness. Wow. 290 for a Stunfisk. One, two, three, four, five. Not enough. That's scary. So we're gonna do something unusual. We're gonna attach a fire to our Didine and retreat just because we can. And then pass the turn. Oh my god, they're healing everything. 90. We can still kill them with a flaming avalanche, so nothing much to worry about there. 120 is not enough to knock us out. So they don't seem to have any other cards. That's fine. Let's attach a fire. Prepare our Urshifu for the Indeedee knockout after that Stunfisk is dead. Oh my god. Bloody Stunfisk. Cape of Toughness adds 50 and 2 Metal Energies add 40. So that's 290. Higher than a tag team Pokemon. You're gonna have to place a new basic, a strong V, attach an energy, BD or something, extra energy, and then switch and attack. Because if they can't, then they are done for. Yep, they are done for because we can GMax one blow and knock them out. So we don't even need our rapid, we don't need rapid flow in this deck. Sorry, for this game, because they are not playing any lose one price cards. Obviously, they don't have a Mew, but you never know when they are gonna pull out a Mew. You know, if they have a Mew in their deck, you never really know when it gets pulled out onto their bench. So that's something to note, is that rapid flow doesn't always work. So we won that one. Let's go for another game, because that was a little too quick as well. We didn't summon any rapid strikes for that game. So let's go ahead for our final game with the Yin Yang Master deck. Zacian V deck box. So we win the coin flip, that's good. We have to reshuffle our hand. So they could be an ADPZ deck, but the deck box could be misleading, you never know. So we got our Roly-Coly on the first turn, that's really good. And then no Sonias but a lot of quick balls, that's fine. We get to discard our Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike with our quick balls. IG slash V with ADP card. So they are playing a Zacian V deck. So Arceus, Delga, Palkia, Tag Team GX with the Alter Creation attack, very scary. But we get to discard our Urshifu VMAX right now. That's a good thing. We have Pokecoms as well, so let's discard it right now for a Roly-Coly. Let's check what we have here. So Cheryl has to go. if we are intending on using a mustard on our next turn, then we have to discard our Cheryl. Hopefully they don't play a Marnie. If they play a Marnie, then we don't get to play our mustard card. But if they let us keep our hand, we can discard that Cheryl, use that Pokemon for an evolution card, and evolve our Roly-Coly. Well, we actually need to think about this now. So we need to sacrifice a basic Pokemon. We need to sacrifice a basic Pokemon with our Quick Ball. That allows us to empty our hand for our mustard card. So what can we sacrifice? Are we gonna sacrifice our Urshifu V or Roly-Coly? Let's just do our Roly-Coly. So discard the Roly-Coly for anything to switch for a Coalossal, and then Rare Candy evolve to empty our hand. And essentially we have Mustard as our final card, playing Urshifu VMAX on our second turn. That's very, very good. So that's very tricky, but we managed to play our not Single Strike, our Rapid Strike style Mustard on our second turn, pulling out our VMAX card, Rapid Strike style. And we even get to play a Dideen now. So we have no energy cards in our discard pile. It's very important to note your energy cards. So not gonna be using that Rare Candy. It's okay to waste a few because we do have 4 Rare Candies in this deck. Better to discard that energy because we have no energy in our discard pile yet. So what can we do now? I'm gonna just use Tar Generator, attach my energy, retreat to my Dideen. Let's see. Yeah, let's retreat. And put that Single Strike Urshifu V. Evolve my second Coalossal. And we can actually use Tar Generator a second time. So let's use... Oh, we could have used our Gale Thrust. If we have retreated to our Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike, we could have used our Gale Thrust. But obviously we can't use it now because we've already retreated once. We can't retreat again. But let's just do that. If we retreated to our Urshifu VMAX, we could have used Gale Thrust and knock out the Crobat V. So important thing to note that Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike not only has GMax Rapid Flow but also the Gale Thrust attack, allowing you to do a whopping 150 damage. And it is fighting type, meaning you can knock out a Crobat V with a single hit. So Gale Thrust is a strong attack, but Beat Down also allows you to knock out a Crobat V. Beat Down is 3 energy attack cost though. It's just a different way of working. So Gale Thrust only works if you switched your Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike into the active spot during your turn, whereas Beat Down only works if you have 3 energies attached to it. So both have upsides and downsides to it. Let's play our Dideen now. Urshifu VMAX in hand. We have a lot of energy cards in our discard pile. They just boss ordered our Coalossal. Should we evolve? Let's just evolve and Tar Generator for energy cards to our Single Strike or Rapid Strike. Let's just attach to our Coalossal. Prepare for the retreat. Let's hope they don't boss order again and pull our second Coalossal into the active spot. That would be bad because we have no more energy cards in our discard pile, so that's bad. Arceus Del Gapalkia, really strong card. Alter Creation essentially allows them to draw 2 prize cards, 3 prize cards if they knock out a Dideen. So all they need really is 2 boss orders. If they boss order knock out Dideen twice, they can win the game. But they haven't Alter Creation yet, so nothing much to worry about. They're probably gonna Alter Creation now. They can't knock us out yet. 150 is not enough. Unless they have a Leon. Very unlikely they have a Leon. So we have a Single Strike energy. We can actually knock it out. We can't knock it out now because we actually need to attach an extra energy to our Coalossal for the retreat. And we don't have enough. If we use Bird Keeper, we don't have enough energies in our discard pile to attach to our VMAX card. So we can't knock out the ADP right now. So let's Sonya for thank God we drew a Sonya. So let's Sonya for energy cards. Let's just take fire and fighting energy. Let's just take 2 fire energies. So retreat right now and let's use rapid flow. Attach energies to our Urshifu. And then rapid flow. Let's do the Zacian. Well, let's do Zacian and ADP. Just because those are the main cards that they are using. We do have to watch out for the IG Slash because IG Slash VMAX does quite a lot of damage, 180 damage plus 30 I think. 30 damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. I think 30 damage for each prize card you have taken. So they are playing Ultimate Ray now, Dideen GX. Funny story about this recording is that this is this voiceover. The voiceover is actually a new voiceover, whereas the PTCG screen is a separate recording because I actually recorded this 2 separate times. So this is the voiceover is a different recording. So the webcam is a different recording, whereas the gameplay is another different recording. So when I recorded the gameplay, I forgot to turn on my mic, so I have to record my voiceover again. So let's focus on the game. Sorry about that. So if you haven't noticed it already, this is actually a second round voiceover because the first one was muted by mistake. So I'll try my best to narrate to get you through the game. So we have 2 Coalossals on the bench, and we've already damaged their Zacian and ADP card. We have our Urshifu VMAX in the active spot. We can knock out their ADP right now because we have Urshifus at the ready. Again, if they boss order knock out 2 Dideens, that's it. They win the game. So thank God they don't have boss order. IG Slash. Sonic Edge does 130 damage and you ignore all effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Same thing as GMax 1 blow except it does less damage. So I'm gonna attach to my Rapid Strike. And do my GMax 1 blow now. Let's attach our fire energy as well, just to collect more energies in our discard pile. Might be a bad idea if they boss auto knock out our Coalossal, but they are probably going to be targeting our Didin because it's too late in the game to be targeting one prize cards. Even if they draw an extra prize card for it, it's not good for them. It's not a smart move for them. It's smarter to knock out 2 Didins for the win than to knock out our Coalossal, because all we need is one Coalossal actually. One Coalossal is enough to retreat our active Urshifu VMAX to use rapid flow constantly. We don't need to retreat if they knock out our Coalossal, because we can send out our Rapid Strike as the new active Pokemon, and then we can do rapid flow consecutively over and over again. So knocking out our Coalossal is not a smart move. They have their Zacian ready. They're using Sonia, so they didn't get their boss order with their Eldegoss. They actually should have, used boss order, but maybe they have other cards in hand. Maybe those cards are bad cards. You never know. ADP decks is really hard because if you use boss order, you can't use other supporter cards. Then you're left with a bad hand on the next turn. So sometimes it's smarter to use Marnie instead of a boss order, so that you can save your next turn. You can have better cards on your next turn. But they get to draw prize cards anyway, so I don't think they should have used Marnie. They should have used boss order actually. Well, they actually knock out our VMAX, so it's the same thing if they use a boss order or not. All they need is a boss order now. So essentially, if they have a boss order, they can knock out a Didin or even a Coalossal for the win. But RG Slash doesn't do enough damage unless they evolve it, or if they have another Zacian or something. So should we draw an energy with our Sonia? Should we get the Sonia? We only have one energy card left in our deck and one basic Pokemon. That's the top 7 cards of our deck, my bad. So we might have more energy cards and basic Pokemons. Let's use a quick ball and check our deck. So let's just get the Roly-Coly. We have quite a lot of energies. Let's just use a Sonia. Place that Urshifu Single Strike, use a Sonia for 2 energies, and attach them to our Urshifu Rapid Strike. And then Tower Generator for more energies to our Single Strike. So Impact Blow only does 180, but that might be enough to knock out their IG Slash if they don't heal it, or if they don't evolve. If they evolve, we might need more. So I think I targeted the Crobat V instead. So all we need is one more knockout, and all they need is a boss order. Well, actually they need boss order and evolution card. Boss order, they only have one, they only used one boss order throughout the game. They might have 3 left in their deck, and they might have more Eldegosses, so you never know. And they're gonna heal now. They're gonna heal the Crobat V to max HP, so we can't actually knock them out the next turn unless we have a Single Strike VMAX. IG Slash, and they discarded our energy. Energy switch to their Zacian. Intrepid Sword for more cards. So now we have we get to use Rapid Flow again. Yeah, we can't do anything else, so we're gonna use Rapid Flow again on 2 of their Pokemons. They can't heal both their Pokemons, so we have to rely on them not having boss order, essentially. Not having boss order and a switch card. All they need is a switch and a boss order to be able to win the game. And an extra energy to their Zacian, obviously. Rapid Flow to the attacking Pokemons, Zacian and IG Slash. So they need very little cards to be able to win the game. Switch or even an evolution card. Well, they can't knock us out if they have an evolution card. They need a switch card. If they have an air balloon, that alone is enough. Air balloon and boss order. Because they have 2 prize cards left, all they need is to knock out a Didin or a Coalossal with their Zacian. So air balloon boss order or switch boss order. They can't knock out our VMAX, but they can knock out our Urshifu. Boss order, oh my gosh. And they don't have a switch card. Oh my gosh, that was close. Phew, that was close. Oh my gosh, that's insane because we actually won against an ADP deck. A Zacian V deck. We have enough energies. Let's use our Rapid Flow. Because Rapid Flow lets us knock out 2 Pokemons, whereas Impact Blow only allows us to knock out the IG Slash. So let's knock out both their Pokemons. 120 is enough to knock them out. They don't have Cape of Toughness. They don't have anything. Let's attach the Single Strike Energy as well. Rapid Flow for the final kill. And we won an ADPZ. That's mad. Coalossal stays in play throughout the game. They don't have the right cards at hand. And they didn't pull their switch cards in time or their air balloons, or maybe they have discarded them or used them up. Otherwise, they can knock us out with their Zacian V and win the game. So that's all for this deck. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We are featuring again our Urshifu VMAXes, both Single Strike and Rapid Strike, on the same deck. So we are dealing a full strike attack with GMax 1 blow and GMax Rapid Flow. So Rapid Flow allows us to strike 2 Pokemons at a time, knocking out their supporting bench Pokemons, knocking out any Pokemons with abilities that they are using, that they are relying on, that they are depending on to support their active Pokemon or to support their strategy. So we're trying to break their strategy by bypassing the active and hacking into their bench Pokemon. Obviously, if they have a Mew, it's better to use your 1 blow. If they have a lot of VMAXes or tag teams, it's better to use your GMax 1 blow because that allows you to do 270 is a lot of damage, allows you to do 270 damage, raw damage, and they don't get to protect their Pokemon with stone energies with any effects of attacks. Full Metal Wall, Big Shield, Chichester Bath, anything that reduces damage from your attacking Pokemon, from your Pokemon's attacks, does not reduce damage from your 1 blow hit. So that's how powerful your Single Strike card is. But obviously Rapid Strike card can be very powerful as well. You can knock out 2 prizes on their bench, 2 Pokemons on their bench very easily, and you can leave them with no cards on the battlefield except their attacking Pokemon. You can break their strategy. So how do we charge those Pokemons? How do we charge our VMAXes? We do it with our Coalossal, Tar Generator, essentially drawing energy from our discard pile. So we need to discard energy as fast as we can. We only have Sonias to draw our energies, but we do have Electromagnetic Radar, Quick Balls to Didin GXs to draw out energy cards and to discard them. And we are relying on Mustard to draw cards, which is not a good thing, but Mustard allows us to place our VMAX card onto the bench without evolving it, essentially saving those cards from this deck. So to ensure that we play it easily, to ensure smooth gameplay when we are playing this mustard card, because mustard is a very difficult card to play. So to make it as easy as possible for us to be able to play this card, we're trying to add cards that allow us to empty our hand as easy as we can, and add cards to summon our VMAX card and discard it as easy as we can. We have our Pokecoms and our Evolution Incense. Obviously there's not a lot of them, it's better to add more because it's very difficult to summon this card and to discard it early on in the game. That's why it's better to only summon it within your second or third turn. But if you need it, it's better to summon it by your second turn. If you can, do it fast, because that gives you an added advantage. Because not only does it allow you to put it onto your bench as stage 1 Pokemon directly onto your bench, it also allows you to draw 5 cards. So mustards are really good. But we are intending to draw cards early on in the game with our Dedenne GX. We are not relying on our mustard to draw cards because mustard is very difficult to play. It's a very difficult card to play, and we are not depending on our luck to be able to play this card in our second or third turn. It's better to play this card by your 4th or 5th turn. You know, expect to play this card later on in the game, because you know, it's sometimes throughout the entire game you might not be able to play a mustard even, because you might have way too many bench spots filled, and you might be playing your Urshifu VMAX already, Single Strike already, and you might not even need your Rapid Strike. So sometimes it really depends on the game. It really depends on your opponent and the situation at hand. So if you need a Rapid Strike, if they have a lot of supporting cards, if they have a lot of one price cards, if they play a Mad Party deck, then don't play your Single Strike Urshifu. Because if you play your Single Strike Urshifu, you're gonna waste your bench spot, you're gonna waste your Pokemon spot in your battlefield. And we don't want to be wasting that spot, because we have a lot of Dedenne GXs in this deck, and we are intending on using as many Dedennes as we can, because Dedenne is the only way we're gonna be drawing our cards. We only have two other supporter cards. We have one Birdkeeper and one Marnie in this deck, so that's not good. And we have one Single Strike Energy to boost our GMAX 1 blow, so that we get to knock out a high HP tag team Pokemon. So as I said, we are not intending on a one-hit knockout for a VMAX, but we can one-hit knock out a tag team very easily with our GMAX 1 blow. And with this deck, we're intending on a consecutive hit with our VMAX attacks, with our GMAX attacks. So turn after turn GMAX attack. That is what we want to do with this deck. And that can be very amazing and powerful. If you can do it, if you can summon enough Coalossals onto your bench, if you can summon your Rapid Strike fast enough, if you can evolve and attach your energy or discard your energy fast enough. So it really, this deck is actually pretty risky. It really depends on your luck, but we are trying to reduce the element of luck as much as we can by adding electromagnetic radars, gears, and quick balls, and rare candies, and all of those other cards. Cheryl also allows you to heal. We only have one of that, so be careful. We might need to discard it, and we might not be able to use it at all throughout the game. So we only have one of it, but one sometimes can be a lifesaver. Just like Birdkeeper, we only have one. But that switch might turn up at the right time, and it could save our game. It could save us one turn, and that might be enough to win the entire game. So you never know. Having one card, you know, it could be a good thing. Sometimes you might not use it at all throughout the game, but sometimes it turn up at the right time, at the precise moment you need it, and it could turn the tables for you. So that's how important certain cards are. That's all for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you find our videos interesting, we will be making more videos on standard format battle styles decks, so tune in for those. Have a nice day, keep playing, keep perfecting your strategy, finding new combos, experiment with new decks, build your own original decks, and you know, test them out, go for gameplay, and practice until you make that deck perfect. Obviously, when you first build a deck, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have to go for a lot of games and then tweak and grind until you make that deck, and slowly tune that deck until it becomes more and more powerful. If it's still not good enough, then you're gonna have to think about adding some other supporting cards, changing your strategy, or maybe turning the combos around, you know, doing something to your deck, so that changing something, altering it, so that it becomes a good deck. Sometimes you might need to dismantle the entire thing, start from scratch. You know, building a deck is very, very difficult, but if you keep at it, it will become a super strong deck over time, because all you need is persistence and perseverance. Obviously, if it still doesn't work, all you need to do is take a break, because sometimes your brain gets tired and you get frustrated and you can't think properly. Our brain needs that incubation period to be able to rest, recollect, and find new ideas, explore new knowledge, and discover new knowledge and explore new ideas. And for that to happen, we need it to rest. So how do we rest our brain? We do that by playing other decks. Come back to that deck build later. So obviously, if you keep focusing too much on something, it might not work, and you're gonna just exhaust yourself. So don't do that. Do as much as you can, and if it still doesn't work, play other decks, go for other games, go to the theme expansion, go to other formats, and play other games, until your brain gets reactivated and you get rejuvenated and you have that passion to make that deck good again. Then you return to it with a new mindset, then you can make a better deck. So obviously there's a lot of tricks to making a good deck, but you just have to go for it. If you go for it, if you keep working hard, then eventually you're gonna come up with something really, really powerful, something nobody has ever seen before, something nobody can compete against. So that is what we want to do. That is what we want to achieve, to be one of the top players, to have a rogue deck that works super well against any other deck, a bulletproof formation. So that's all. Have a nice day, keep having fun, and keep smiling. Have fun with this game, and we'll see you on the next episode. Single strike, rapid strike style. Bye guys.